Hey everybody, today we're doing a couple different techniques out here on the river. One of them happens to be bobber dogging and setting up a double bead setup. Now a lot of people ask you, how do you do a double bead? No, Yakima Bait does not make beads. However, my buddy from B&R Soft Beads, they do make beads and they are great ones. So you can start with anything from an 8.5 to a 10.5 foot spin cast rod. You can use bait casters as well, but I like 8.5 to 10.5 foot. I generally like the longer rods. A 3000 to 4000 series spinning reel, 30 to 50 pound braid. And then when I come down to that, what I do is I slide on a bobber stop. And these bobber stops are little knots that come on a little plastic tube, and you put that on your line. Very first, it slides up your line. And then next, I got a bobber stop bead. That stops my bobber at the desired depth I would want. I have a corky on top, and what this corky does is when I make a long cast, if I cast and this corky's not sitting on top of my bobber, I know my gear's tangled, so then I can immediately reel in and make sure that everything's straight. Next, I've got a large bobber dogger float. There's a bunch of people that make these floats. Fishfield makes a really good one. Hawk and Fishing makes a good one. This happens to be an XL float. Below that, I have another bead. It stops the bobber from damaging my knot that goes to my three-way swivel. I've got a three-way swivel here, open in on both sides, and then hanging off the bottom of it is a snap. And we use this to snap on our P-line Dragon Balls weights, okay? Now these come in I think a 1/8 all the way up to a 1/2 ounce size. Today we're using the 1/4 ounce size for these lower flows. Now coming down the terminal end of my gear, I tie off about a 3 foot leader to my first bead, which happens to be a 20 millimeter B&R soft bead. This is a cerise color, right? Now you can see my hook down here. How do you attach your second bead is the question I get most often. Now you can just simply tie up your second bead leader, and you can tie on it with an improved clench knot, or what I really like to do, I didn't do it on this one because I was being lazy, is use a Duncan loop. Now the Duncan loop's a simple knot. You can look it up on YouTube, and what that does is that allows you to be able to interchange your beads, or if you're baiting this hook, you can pull this knot back, slide it off, bait your hook, or change beads real fast with a Duncan loop. So that's the way I like to do it. These are size 1 or 1/0 hooks. That's generally what I run on all these, so hopefully these tips help you have some success of your own.